Ancient civilizations did not simply pass down knowledge, they passed down warnings. These warnings were woven into myths, rituals, calendars, and moral codes. They were not predictions of the future, but observations of patterns. Patterns that unfolded whenever power, technology, or ambition exceeded restraint. Modern civilization did not ignore these warnings entirely. Instead, it did something far more dangerous. It absorbed them, reinterpreted them, and turned them into tools. Ancient knowledge was never neutral. It came with conditions. It demanded balance, limits, and responsibility. But when fragments of that knowledge were extracted and separated from their ethical foundations, warnings became instructions, and safeguards became accelerators. Consider time. In ancient societies, timekeeping was sacred. Calendars were not instruments of productivity, but systems of alignment. They synchronized human activity with the rhythms of the sun, moon, seasons, and land. Days of rest were not indulgences. They were necessities. Ritual pauses prevented exhaustion of people, soil, and social cohesion. The warning was clear: ignore cycles, and collapse follows. Modern civilization kept the measurement of time, but reversed its purpose. Time became fragmented, monetized, and weaponized. Hours became units of labor. Deadlines replaced seasons. Rest was reframed as inefficiency. Productivity became a moral virtue. The ancient warning about exhaustion was transformed into a system that depends on it. The same transformation occurred with engineering. Ancient builders understood scale. Their technologies were designed to serve communities without overwhelming the environment that sustained them. Aqueducts followed gravity. Cities adapted to climate. Materials were chosen for longevity, not speed. Embedded within these designs was a warning: systems that exceed local limits will fail. Modern engineering adopted the techniques but dismissed the warning. Scale became the goal. Expansion replaced adaptation. Systems grew so large that failure became catastrophic instead of local. The knowledge that once encouraged restraint became the foundation for unchecked growth. Agriculture tells an even more unsettling story. Ancient farming knowledge emphasized regeneration. Crop rotation, fallow periods, water management, and biodiversity were not optional. They were survival strategies. These practices warned against overextraction long before the concept of sustainability existed. Modern agriculture adopted ancient efficiency while discarding ancient patience. The warning about soil depletion became a challenge to overcome rather than a boundary to respect. Fertilizers replaced regeneration. Monoculture replaced diversity. Short-term yield replaced long-term resilience. The result was abundance followed by fragility. The warning was not wrong. It was simply ignored. Even ancient social hierarchies carried warnings. Power in many ancient societies was paired with obligation to land, people, and future generations. Kings were judged by harvests, stability, and harmony. When imbalance grew, collapse followed. Myths preserved these failures not to glorify rulers, but to caution successors. Modern systems inherited hierarchy, but severed accountability. Power expanded while responsibility diluted. Decisions with generational consequences were reduced to quarterly outcomes. Ancient warnings about inequality and social fracture became footnotes in history books. Perhaps the most disturbing transformation involves knowledge itself. Ancient cultures often restricted access to certain knowledge, not to hoard power, but to control misuse. Initiation systems, secrecy, and gradual learning were safeguards. Knowledge was earned slowly to ensure understanding preceded application. Modern civilization rejected restraint. Knowledge became democratized without context. Information spread faster than wisdom. Tools once bound by ethical frameworks became accessible without guidance. Ancient warnings about premature power were dismissed as elitism or superstition. And yet, the consequences described in those warnings unfold with remarkable consistency. Environmental collapse, social fragmentation, psychological exhaustion, loss of meaning. These are not new problems. They are ancient outcomes repeating under modern conditions. The ancient world warned that power without balance invites correction. Modern society assumed it could escape correction through complexity and speed, but reality does not negotiate. The most unsettling realization is that ancient warnings did not fail. They were fulfilled, precisely because they were misunderstood. When ancient civilizations spoke of floods, fire, and collapse, they were not predicting punishment. They were describing feedback. Systems pushed beyond limits respond. Always. Modern civilization did not reject ancient wisdom, it rebranded it. It turned cyclical understanding into linear exploitation. It transformed guardianship into ownership. It mistook mastery for immunity. And perhaps the darkest truth is this: ancient civilizations may have anticipated this misunderstanding. That is why their warnings were encoded so persistently, in myth, stone, and story. They knew future societies would extract power and ignore restraint. They knew collapse would be framed as surprise. History suggests they were right. The ancient world is not silent because it has nothing left to say. It is silent because it has already spoken, and we chose to listen selectively. The tools we celebrate today were once warnings, and whether we recognize that fact or not, the consequences will not care. Subscribe to this channel for more. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a story lost to time.